everybody, it's Elaine here, holistic coach and nutritionist. I just wanted to show you, here's the juice that I just made. I blended that in my Vitamix and I saved the pulp. So now we're gonna make pulp gluten-free muffins. Super easy to do, you guys. So I have the pulp from yesterday's juice, it's a little greener, and the pulp from today, it's a little bit redder, so as I used a little bit more of the red grapes that I had left over, and I also used some beets. So I have about 2 cups of that I'm putting in my bowl, because I like to make a lot at one time. You can also take and make this recipe in half. So the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in a little bit of oat flour. So I can use my oat flour here. I can buy Bob's Red Mill oat flour or any oat flour that you can get. Or I actually took some gluten-free oats and I put them into my food processor, and I made my own flour. So I've got that. I'm gonna put about 3 cups of that in there. So I'm gonna use up this one. So I just wanna use it up. So I'm making this, just showing you how it's real. Instead of having it all prepared and ready, I'm just gonna take it out of the bags and I'm gonna put my oat flour in there. This is gonna be about 1.5 cups. So then I'm gonna use 1.5 of the flour that I already made, just grinding up my oats with my food processor. Super easy. There's a little bit more. And we're just gonna make it about 3 cups. There we go. So you can always adjust those ingredients later. So instead of using oil, I like to use, I make my own applesauce. You can buy applesauce, or you can just make your own super quick. There we go. So I just put it in the Vitamix, and I had an apple, and I just put that in there, made my own. So as far as the oil goes, you can use coconut oil, you can use extra virgin olive oil, but I usually don't. I usually just try to find oil substitutes. And the apples make it a little bit sweeter, super good. But you can also use the aquafaba, the juice of a garbanzo bean. When you take the garbanzo beans, chickpeas out of the can, remember that juice? Save that. That aquafaba can be an oil replacement. So you could use that as well. Maybe you want to make some hummus later and you can use the aquafaba for this. So then as far as the sweetener goes, the apples are going to make it sweet. So I usually only use maybe 1/2 cup of something sweeter. So I can use pure maple syrup. I can use my date syrup that I got at Trader Joe's, whatever you want. I'm just gonna real quick do about 1/2 cup. I don't want it really sweet. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit of that. So you don't have to put sweetener in there if you don't want to. You can do whatever you want. I'm gonna put in a little bit of cinnamon. I'm gonna put in about a teaspoon of, let's see, where's my teaspoon? Here it is, of baking powder. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of baking soda. So we have those in there. And pretty much I'm just going to put in about 2 teaspoons or so of the apple cider vinegar to activate all that and get that going. So apple cider vinegar, if you don't have it, you don't have to have that in there. But I put that in there. And then I want to put a little bit of either nut butter, so sunflower seed butter, peanut butter. Make sure if you use peanut butter, it's organic. My husband really likes to have peanut butter, so I use that sometimes. But I have almond butter, macadamia nut butter, whatever you want. I'm just going to put a number of those in there. Let's see, I'm going to put, because I'm doubling up the recipe, I'm going to put about 6 tablespoons of that in there. We're gonna put a little salt. First, we want to mix it up and make sure that the consistency is what you want. If it's too dry, you can add something else to make it some of the wet ingredients. If it's too wet, you just add a little bit more of the oat flour, okay? You can also put a little bit of some other things in there. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of coconut. You don't have to measure it out, just how much do you want? But if you need to measure it out, that's gonna be about 6 tablespoons or so if you're using 2 cups of the pulp. So I have some cranberries. I'm going to throw in some cranberries. But if you wanted to throw in a little bit of chocolate chips and things like that, you can do that as well. I like to have these as an evening snack sometimes, so I don't want to put in chocolate chips because if I put in chocolate chips, sometimes it just keeps me awake. So I'm just going to mix all that up. And then I'm going to put it, this is what I put them in. This is the silicone little muffin tin. Not tin, but muffin cups. So they're super great. So I just go ahead and put the material in there and bake them, and then I'll come back and show you what those look like. Okay, here are the muffins. They're ready to go in the oven. I put them on a baking sheet because this can kind of be flimsy. So we're gonna bake them and enjoy them when they come out. Okay, so we made our juice, our blended juice. We strained it. We took the fiber pulp from the juice. Here's the juice, still drinking the juice. And here is the pulp gluten-free muffin. These are so good. So hopefully you'll be able to make these and enjoy these. Bye.